can work with if the Cloud doesn't seem to be the right fit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think he's gonna have a lot of room to experiment with his characters, and look at that weak cat bamboozle. He's gonna be starting with the Roy. What do you think about the Roy versus Wii Fit Trainer matchup?
See, so Roy's ability to have great speed in the neutral, followed by what I like to kind of almost call somewhat auto combos. It's one of those things that you can look at how close he is sticking to this Wii Fit Trainer. He's able to just be incredibly aggressive and then get so much of the reward. He's not going to let Lizz breathe. And that's what you don't want. Like I said, you don't want Wii Fit Trainer to play her game plan and to keep things slow. If you do, it's going to be a rough time. And Javi, just starting with the best foot forward, in my opinion, Roy, he's going to put a lot of pressure against Lizz. Look at how pressure he has against Lizz, just constantly sticking to her, making sure she is not going to get an opportunity to breathe, even at the ledge.
Yeah, that's right, and that's one of the things that we were talking about earlier. You gotta be careful with allowing Wii Fit Trainer mains to get the ball rolling, no pun intended, the volleyball rolling. But just look at that, with 2 hits, she is slowly but surely trying to close this percentage gap. Okay,
yeah.
He's gotta be careful. They are both on a pretty risky side of the stage.
And that's good for us, Javi, also to read her opportunity to just try to jump on the corner. A lot of players will have that opportunity and that habit, because that's what, for Wii Fit Trainer, she does have good air movement, but also Javi understands that as a character. Like, okay, cool, what's her option from the corner? It's going to be this. And especially when she doesn't have too much ground presence, Javi could just make that easy. But he has to watch out, though. This is amounting to 145 to 120 here. And like I said, left unchecked, Wii Fit Trainer has slowly caught up. We saw Javi so much on the aggressive side, but he's able to punish Lizz as she tried to escape with the back air, and then immediately gets the first stock here.
Yeah, exactly. Javi with a pretty small advantage right now. It could get even bigger, but with the backer, it's gonna be enough for Lizz to take this first stock, and she is looking fresh like a lettuce that's just been put out in the supermarket. But now 26% on the side of Javi. What is he going to do to try and get on try and put Lizz on the same percentage as him? 36. Okay, she's at 21. And we're back on the neutral. We're just blocking, we're throwing the volleyball, and she gets hit by the last hits of that side B.
Yeah, so like Javi's honestly doing a really good job keeping so much pressure on Lizz. Like you could see it here once they get into the stage pressure and at the ledge. Even just the jab, but also the way that Javi looks to just run back towards stage control, and then immediately doesn't want to give Lizz any sort of breathing space, because like I said, once she's able to get towards center stage, she can start setting up things. So Javi just kind of keeps the same general game plan. I think Javi's demonstrating a really good opportunity of, okay, cool, I'm either going to pressure you with jab, I'm going to pressure you with my presence, in which I can lead to a grab, break your defense, and then go from there. And I think Javi honestly has a lot of good confidence here, even though I have to give it to Lizz. She's playing really strong. Those backers out of shield have been doing a tremendous amount of work, but also keeping to her game plan here. There's going to be the jab to the forward here, and then once again, Javi has a ledge to work with.
Ooh, and now she's trying to make it back on stage. She's back, and pretty good block on the side of Javi to that back air. If that back air had connected, that would probably have been it for Javi's second stock. But now we are in a pretty risky situation for both of them, and I think that pretty much any hit could spell doom for them. And look at that, Javi taking this second stock. But just like that, Lizz, she is not stopping at anything.
Yeah, I mean, she knew Javi was going to run towards the ledge. At that point, just if you see your opponent at the corner, you might as well just finish him off. And at this point, he had nowhere else to do but to run. And like I said, Wii Fit Trainer has those dual hitboxes, that great airspeed, a lot of great aerial hitboxes as well. She could just pretty much take care of Javi's stock so much easier. 88% pretty much unanswered against Javi here, and Lizz is in such a pressured mode here. But Javi able to get the roll read here, goes for the back throw, and then the parry. This is a forwarder, and Lizz is off the stage here. She still has an opportunity because she's not out just yet.
That's right, she could make the comeback. We saw her being on a pretty tough situation on that first stock, but just with a couple of hits from Wii Fit Trainer, she was able to close that percentage gap. She gets the deep breath. Okay, now is she gonna make it back? But Javi was ready, and that was it for our first game. It was a pretty close first game, but I think that after taking Lizz's second stock, Javi just was able to build a lot of momentum.
Yeah, I think a lot of the momentum that Javi's able to carry with Roy, but also just the pressure of presence is really strong in the matchup because even in that opportunity that we saw at the ledge a little earlier, he was able to get an empty hop to a grab. So he's constantly pressuring Lizz with either a jab, a grab, even just the movement. Whether he's able to stand at the ledge and either get a roll read, get that fadeaway forward air. Roy was a really strong play, especially against a character like Leafer Trainer. Cloud may require a limit to kind of keep up around with her, which makes a lot of sense, but Roy just has that speed, that damage, the knockback, the combos. It puts Leafer Trainer essentially on the back foot. Like you said, she might be a piece of fresh lettuce at the supermarket, but she's coming out like an organic piece of lettuce. That means when you take it out the supermarket, in 2 days, it's going to expire. And hopefully...
Yeah, exactly. And I think that mostly the change, well, the decision to start with Roy is like, we were talking about this earlier. If you let Wi-Fi Trainer unchecked, she's gonna run you over. And I think that, yeah, while the limit could be a pretty good tool, I don't really think that Javi wants to rely on the limit like you mentioned earlier. So he's just trying to go for something much more oppressive.
Yeah. And it's honest, like I said, you can either pressure your opponent through your moves, you can pressure your opponent just through presence, but you can also pressure your opponent through reading their habits. And then you actually just start to pretty much take away their comfort zone. And that's what you want. You want to understand your opponent's win condition, but you want to look to eliminate it. And I think that's what Javi did with picking Roy. He understood her win condition with Wi-Fi Trainer and then eliminated it. Now that's how we see how he won game 1. Looking into game 2 here, it's up to Lizz to see how she can actually adapt to either Javi's Roy by either stage picks or by just understanding what went wrong in the first game. And honestly, she didn't do too bad. She had a lot of good reads on Javi's super oppressive pressure by getting those back airs, understanding when Javi might have been going for a cross, and then punishing immediately.
Yeah, exactly. And we can see that, you know, she's got her headphones on. Maybe she just changed the music before we started this game number 2. But once again, Javi started with the advantage, but just like that, it's gone. It's not going to be enough. He's alive, but Lizz, she could pretty much take this before she even hits the 100%. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she's feeling a lot of pressure, but she's finally able to get a little bit of breathing space after the Sun Salutation. Almost getting the out smash, and then Javi once again pretty much strong on the pressure. But 131 here, Lizz, all she has to do is get a really good read on Javi, and that's going to be the first stock to her head. But Javi doing a really good job yet again, just trying to keep... I think the one thing that we're seeing here is that Lizz is adding the projectiles to slow down Javi, which is normally going to be the game plan. You want to slow down Roy so that he starts to actually play around your neutral.
Yeah, exactly, and we can see that Lizz has a mastery over that volleyball, but Javi going for the forward throw. Good block on the side of Lizz. We're back on the neutral. Oh, I really like these moments of a lot of tension, not a lot of moves are being thrown out there, just both trying to feel their opponent out, and now Javi's off the stage. Oh, goes for the grab. Is it going to be enough? No, the DI got the smoke. What a move from Lizz.
Well, qué golazo right there, setting up the volleyball just pretty much for the immediate goal, just take care of Javi. But like I said, she like I said, left unchecked, she will eventually get a lot of damage and she will take the stock. Javi with the missed raw back air, just narrowly missing it here, but not gonna have to keep his cool. But like I said, Lizz is doing a really good job. You want to slow down Roy. You want to essentially have him play air pressure. But here with this jab and the up air, pretty much reading where she was gonna go here, Javi looks to kind of keep things even.
Yeah, that's right, and I think that's something that Lizz is also doing quite well. I think that she's actually managing to make Javi lose a little bit of his patience. He's going... I think that he's getting a little bit too desesperado.
Yeah, I mean, you can get tunnel vision, right? Essentially, when you are getting tunnel vision, you're only seeing the victory, and you need to see your opponent's habits. And Javi, he just has to keep his cool, but so does Lizz. Once you get tunnel vision, you're going to find yourself doing a little bit too much pressure when you should be looking to just pretty much play lame and win the game, especially when you have a lead here. But pretty much both players on even stocks here, but Lizz looking to just slowly fight back as Javi just constantly keeps bringing her towards the ledge.
Well, now what is Lizz going to do? Okay, we're back on the neutral. Javi, he can see the opportunity. Lizz is off stage. We got the parries. We got the jab, but misses that third. That could have been it for Lizz's second stock. But now Javi has a percentage lead. Lizz is pretty much at 100%. And now we're back on the middle part of the stage. Hey, Lizz is upstage once again. Pretty risky situation for Lizz.
Yeah, good on Javi to add that sliding forward tilt on his way to just chase her down. It's a really good corner carry, but also if she manages to pick an option there in terms of a tech roll or just trying to land with a directional air dodge, as many players would, that sliding forward tilt would have definitely taken care of that stock.
Oh, but the side B on the side of Javi, it's going to be enough to give him this second stock, but 83%, I don't think that he should be that easy.
No, not at all. Oh, so that was good because Lizz pretty much set up pressure to try to force Javi to go for a low recovery, and essentially Javi did not want to go for a low recovery, use the directional air dodge, and then that downer just lasting quite a few frames was able to read out Javi in terms of the recovery. So that was really smart from Lizz.
And now Javi once again with a pretty good advantage against Lizz, 101%. Lizz, she's gotta make something or she's gonna be left on the dust against Roy's Javi. Okay, nice block. Lizz is upstage.
Yeah, good for her. And you see Wii Fit train. Oh no. And yeah, that forward tilt will do it here. Javi takes the second game over Lizz. But that was good on her part because we see her set up the ball there, cause Javi to hold shield, giving her time to try to come back on the stage. And that's something that you also need to be able to get used to when fighting Wii Fit Trainer. You need to see her projectiles because her objective when she's off stage is to get you to move. And Javi knows if I don't move, just me standing here with this pressure is enough. And it goes to show Javi's able to win that game. But Lizz did such an excellent job of, like I said, trying to slow down Javi. It was such a close game that her just forcing Javi to play a little bit more of her neutral, adding in more projectiles, trying to force Javi like, hey, if you don't pick this option select properly, you will lose your stock. And we saw it with that spike that she got.
Yeah, exactly. And she, like you mentioned it, she started pretty strong, but slowly, I think that Javi, we were talking about earlier how he had a little bit of a tunnel vision, but I think that he realized that he was losing his cool, so he started to slowly but surely make a lot of pretty good but small adjustments, and now let's see if Lizz can make the same thing for her cause on this game 3.
Yeah, and I kind of want to go back a few seconds when we saw Lizz go for back of the shield. That's really good that she's trying to constantly go for an option when Javi goes for that cross-up neutral air, or just a neutral air in general. She wants to shut down one of those easy get-in Roy options, and that is neutral air. Even as though it's not working, it's giving Javi that intelligence of like, okay, she's gonna keep going for these back air out of shields. I need to be careful because look, she's been getting away with a lot of those, and I can't go as close quarters as I want to because of the way back air works for Wii Fit. That's gonna be a back throw for Lizz here, sets up the ball, and then looks to get Javi for a low recovery, but is able to still come back to the stage.
Now what is Javi going to do? He's in a pretty tough spot. 73% on the side of Lizz and barely missing that jab. Javi, if he had gotten that jab, he probably would have go for the side air, but you know, missing by a couple of frames. And now is Lizz's turn to put the pressure on side of Javi with the Shoryuken. And now we're back on the neutral, but the parry to the side air, it's gonna be enough for Javi to take this first stock.
Yeah, I mean, just the bare necessities with Roy. That has so much knockback. You know, it's one of Roy's just classic kill confirms at this point. Even off the jab, even though opportunities for Javi to actually read Lizz from those high recoveries. And then this tremendous juggle pressure against Lizz. She's trying to land towards center stage, gets hit by the parry, and now she's forced to try to recover this a different way now. But Javi does a really good job. Even though he takes the hit, he knows he has to be right back on the mark.
Now Lizz with back here, putting Javi once again off stage. Ooh, we got the parry, but well, look how the turntables. Goes for the forward throw. Are we gonna see another forward air on the side of Javi just to close this set? Okay, once again Lizz is off stage. What is she going to do? Things are not looking pretty for her.
Yeah, and Javi reads the get up option there, goes for the back air. And right across the stage, like I said, it's just the bare necessities. Good enough here for Javi, and Lizz looks to try to get things right back on Javi. It's going to be 2-1 a stock here, but Lizz, I like a little bit of dash dancing to try to read Javi all the way coming back on the stage aggressively. A really smart attempt.
And now Javi going for the throw. He was trying to get some up airs on Lizz, but Lizz once again on a pretty tough spot. She's off stage. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Javi going for a pretty risky option, you know, the suicide option. He's got 2 stocks to work with.
Oh, and Liz has got a lot of these nairs to work with here. The constantly way she's juggling Javi, pretty much bringing him to 5%.
Nice block on the side of Javi to that back here. Lizz manages to make it back on stage, but just Javi being there, it's enough to put on the pressure on Lizz.
Oh no, and then the up smash, unfortunately, like you said, Javi just being there is enough to put the pressure, and then Lizz almost got the up smash, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. Javi gets his own hit, he's able to take it over Lizz 3-0. Nice fist bump, and I mean, good stuff to Lizz. She was actually starting to adapt to Javi a lot better. She was doing a really good job of trying to get out of the ledge and move towards center stage. She was able to actually start to slowly juggle Javi. I think she